These bikes really are very forgiving. If you get your gears wrong, they forgive you wonderfully. Makes them really good learner bikes. Checking my mirrors. We're going to be turning left back towards Southwell. So mirrors and brakes, squeezing the front brake, block changing down to third, just using the bike point to keep it nice and tight as we come around the bend, easing the clutch through, checking my mirrors, position 1, 4th gear, 5th, 6th, position 3, looking over the top of the hedge. I can't see anything oncoming, but there might be something low, like a sports car. Position 1, just checking a cancelled indicator there. 3, good view up the road, no hazards. Position 2, watching the road surface. I'm holding 2, it's quite bad in 1, still 2, I would be in 1 for the bend, just minding the surface. Remember, safety, stability, view. Mirrors, cars just pulled out, looks like they're a little bit slow. Mirrors again. Let's give them a little bit of time to get up to the speed limit. Sometimes people amble their way up to the speed limit and then they actually stay there. Sometimes they never get there. Let's give him a bit of space so he doesn't feel crowded. Position 1. Over to 2. Not going to bother going to 3 because I need 1 again in a moment. Mirrors. Mirrors again. A little bit of brakes so I don't crowd him as he's turning in case he suddenly decides he's not going to turn. Mirrors again. Back to 3. Can feel the bike starting to struggle, so we'll drop down to 5th. 4th. They're so noisy, these bikes, that they encourage you to want to get up and through the gears. Unless you like noise, I suppose. Mirrors. Back into 6th gear. I'm watching these near side entrances rather than just mindlessly passing them in position 1. So we're doing 52, 47, trying not to creep up on this car too much because he's almost doing the speed limit. Over to 3. Let's measure my 2 seconds. Only a 4, breaks the 2-second rule. Yep, 2 with a little bit to spare. It's a nice dry day. Holding 3. Mirrors. Still holding 3. Equidistant between any near side and offside hazards. Okay, ask myself why he's braking. Is he about to turn? Lovely. So, position 3. Looking all the way around the bend and back to my mirrors. Oncoming traffic in the distance. I'm going to move back to 2. Mind my speed as it's creeping up a little bit. Mirrors. Those cars were quite close together, so I was just watching them to make sure nobody was going for an overtake. I'm holding position 2 for now in case the van moves. Mirrors 1. Looking all the way around the bend, still 1. Mirrors. 2. I would have gone to 3, but then I caught sight of the Mini in the shadows. 3 now. Looking around the bend. Mirrors. Straight line a little bit. Still 3. Gaining the view around the bend. Warning sign of a left-hander, so we'll go over to 1 if the surface is good. Mirrors. A little bit of brakes. 4th gear. Probably didn't need 4th gear, didn't read that bend right. Looking all the way around the bend. Over to 1, nice and smooth with the mirror check. Back to 3. 1. 3, that was quite a big hole. Back to 2 for the oncoming, maybe even 1 in case they're cutting off the corner. Watching the junction, we're in 2. Mirrors, 1. Early mirrors, easing off the throttle, both brakes, down through the gears, 4th. Lovely. 4th gear even feels like it's too low a gear at 32 miles an hour on this bike. You can just feel it wanting to go all the time on the throttle. You can just feel it pulling a little bit too much. So when you're on and off the throttle a little bit, it feels a little jumpy, whereas if you're in 5th or 6th, it's just that little bit smoother. These throttles are instantly responsive, so you have to be quite careful to relax your grip. It's very easy to hold on too tight. You go over a bump and it goes woof. Jerks away from your mirrors. See who gets there first. Mirrors again. Be prepared to move in. Let's see what's going to happen here. Lovely. Equalising the danger. Just watch his wheels just in case. Mirrors. Gaps reducing, so my speed's reducing. Mirrors. Over to position 1. And then back to 2 to get out of the bad surface. Mirrors. Don't want to run the old chap over. Mirrors again. Turning right at the mini roundabout. Mirrors and brakes. I'm in 4th gear. I'm going to come down into 2nd gear. This is quite tight. So you should go around the painted white circle if you're in or on a vehicle that's capable of doing so. Looking all the way up the road. This feels like it should be a 20, especially as they've painted the road red, but it's actually a 30. Still keeping my distance away from the parked vehicles. Back to position 2. There's the jumpiness with me being a little bit tense on the throttle. Just caught it as I came over a bump. This wasn't as smooth as I'd like it to be. That's probably just me being too tense though. Could do with turning the heated grips on actually. My hands are a little bit chilly. Lots of mirrors for slowing down. Down into 1st gear, and I'm going to turn those grips on. Shoulder check because I hadn't checked my mirrors recently. I'm having a quick glance in the mirrors as well as doing a shoulder check. Watching the junction on the right. Mirrors. A little bit of brakes. 2nd gear will do for now. What's this Fiesta doing? Not indicating, and he's stopping too. Thank you. Mirrors. Minding my speed as the Mini's quite wide there. Watching for anything coming past this van. The shoulder checker move out, be a little bit dominant as that van's miles away. Give him a little nod anyway. Brakes. Down to third, watch the car on the right. Using the bike point as I come round, even in third gear, just to keep it nice and tight. Mirrors. I'm popping it back into fifth for 30 miles an hour. It'd quite happily sit in sixth, to be fair. But if any of these cars start to slow down and turn, it's less gears for me to come back down through. Nice regular mirrors. Everybody's turning off, which is good news for me. Over to position 3, planning for the bend ahead. Holding my speed steady. Planning early, we're going to be coming over to 1. Minding the drain cover, moving away from the dog. Mirrors for the change of speed limit, hold my speed. Still going to pull really well in 5th gear. Over to 3. 6th gear. This is only the 650. Got plenty of power. Over to position 2. Watch the junction, then 1. Looking all the way around the bend, mirrors. Over to position 3 to get the view around the next bend. Nice and smoothly through 2. 2 to almost 1, but with the junction on the left, we'll go for 1 now. Mirrors again. Anticipate maybe a car passing the cyclist, because at the time that I saw the cyclist I couldn't see around the bend. Position 3, easing off my throttle just a little bit. The bend is beginning to open up. It's opening, closing, opening, closing. So I'm easing off the throttle. If it's closing, I'm easing off. If it's opening, I'm opening the throttle back up again. Position 1. Mirrors, looking for anybody chasing the HGV. Mirrors, ease off the throttle. Don't even need brakes at this stage. A little bit of brakes just so I'm at 30, down to 4th as I come, 5th, sorry, as I come through the speed limit sign. 33. Checking my mirrors. My hands have warmed up a little bit now, I've turned the grips on, so that's helping me to relax them. Sometimes when I get cold, I start to grip on for grim death. Mirrors. Enjoying the pretty village. Position 3. Some really pretty houses, a very pretty church. It's nice to enjoy the views as well as focusing on your ride. Mirrors. Going to bring it down a couple of gears. Didn't even need my brakes then, just covered them in case I needed them. Mirrors. Car in front is braking. I think just habit braking for the bend there. Doesn't look like they're slowing down to turn, they're just braking because they're seeing a bend. It doesn't even look like they're losing much speed. Mirrors for a change of speed limits. So easy to think you've got more gears than you have on this bike. I went for 7th then. Looking all the way around the bend. Mirror 3. traffic lights ahead, so early mirrors. Mirrors again, both brakes, squeezing the front, clutching, down through my gears. Don't even need to use the engine braking of the gears, so I'm not letting the clutch out between. Stopping a good distance back. Turning right at the lights, so early mirrors, signal, brakes, gears, third gear, we're good to go. So use the power. Six. Looking all the way around the bend. Back to 2 for the junction. 1. Mirrors. Holding position 3, mirrors, looking all the way around the bend, bend's opening up. I can't increase my speed, but it helps me to know that I can hold my speed. Mirrors, just in case that truck's coming out, position 2, early mirrors for the level crossing, both brakes, down through the gears. Gonna hang back in case that van's about to chuck a U-turn. Mirrors again. I'm not quite sure what he's up to. Holding 3 as I come through the village. Nice sweepy bends. Checking my mirrors. Bring my speed down. Come down through a couple of gears. Mind the pigeon. Keep in to the left as I can't see around this one. I'd rather be into the left than out wide and then have to make a sudden change of position. Mirrors. Hold the position. Bad surface. This is where I find the throttle a tiny bit snatchy sometimes. There you go, that's the why don't we go pegging it round bends issue. Mirrors. Early mirrors for the change of speed limit. Move to 3. Mirrors over to 1, mirrors and brakes, down 2 gears, back into 4th, over to 3, holding 3 to 2. There's really bad surface on this road. I really want to be in 3. I'm not going to be there if it's dangerous. So here, for example, I'm going to make my way across the bad surface and then try and avoid the worst of it with a mirror check in the middle. Watch him get onto his side of the road before I then do a mirror check. Just enjoying the view, preparing for the change of speed limit, holding my position, mirrors, easing off, little bit of brakes, only a touch, stay in 5th gear for now. And I'm going to be turning right. Okay, the van's flashed me, which was nice. Move out nice and early, hold my position. Make sure I don't scare the dogs. I'm going to go a little bit further away from them than I normally would want to be because of the conditions of the road there, because of the parked cars on the right and the bend of the road. Not that I wouldn't give the dogs that much clearance normally. I don't think some people think about dogs, but I've seen a number of dogs run towards noisy motorbikes. Make sure you can judge my speed. Mirrors. Small gap, less speed. Big gap, more speed. Early mirrors, turning left at the mini roundabout. Watching the van's not coming round the lorry. Early mirrors.